Alright, so I'm gonna be doing like a voiceover for this video. It's gonna be like different, but yeah, I wanted to try something different because I always talk during uh my drawing videos and stuff. But yeah, in this one, I'm just drawing. Um, this was like a couple days ago, but I'm just doing like a voiceover. But I'm drawing. I don't know what I'm drawing. I forgot. But I'm drawing with like a different pen. But yeah. I think I'm drawing like some type of like teddy bear or whatever to like warm up. But yeah, it's kind of weird voicing over. But yeah, I kind of I'm drawing with like a different pen because uh my other pen ran out of ink, so I had to like go back to what I was kind of used to drawing with like it's kind of like an ink pen or a gel pen, so I kind of use that. But yeah, anyways, yeah, I'm trying to be more consistent. It's kind of hard to, I don't know, for me when I draw, it's kind of hard to be more consistent uh because I have like a low tolerance of drawing and stuff. So I can only draw for like a couple hours maybe, and then I feel like I don't know what else to draw. And especially if I'm drawing for let's say like 5 days straight, I kind of get like, I'm like, all right, what do I draw next? Like, I know there's still lots of practice. You can never have enough practice, but I just feel like my mind is so closed off when I draw so much inconsistently. It's kind of weird because I draw for like maybe 5 days and then take a break for like a couple of days and then come back, which is probably all you need. But for me, I feel like I'm not really progressing as fast because of it. Like, I just like shut down and then go back to drawing when I'm used to drawing. So I gotta find a new habit in terms of like finding something different to draw, or like something that is challenging, which is hard in itself because when I try new things, I fail at it, which is normal, obviously. But it's, how do I say? I fail at it, but I don't get like any. I don't. It's not any. It's not really encouraging at all. I just like fail, and then like I'm like, damn, what else do I do next? Yeah, it's kind of complicated. Um, but yeah, I think I'm done with that. I think I was like searching up something on Pinterest. You can see my laptop on the top corner left. But yeah. And then I don't know why, but like sketchbooks. Well, sketchbooks are not expensive, but I don't know. I I I also gotta like work on drawing with colors and stuff. I tried drawing digitally. I'm so garbage, and I think I will be forever garbage digital drawing, unless I get a different screen protector type thing to draw on, or like a different pen, Apple pen, which I will like later in the future buy. But yeah, like I can't draw with like, I can't color. I had to work my coloring and stuff, which is tough because I bought so many pens and stuff, but they're not really for the right type of paper. So it's kind of like tough. And on top of that, I don't really get color theory and stuff like that. So that's something I gotta work on. And I know it's gonna take a lot of like failing to get used to it. But yeah, I gotta work on that because I'm so used to drawing with pen and then like, or just black and white. And that's pretty much it. But yeah. And then I think for this drawing, I think I'm drawing like a face or something. But yeah, um, yeah, doing like a voiceover is so weird to me because, well, not weird. I think it's better because when I draw, I'm like pretty quiet sometimes. I know like other videos I posted, I just kind of yap, especially like the sketchbook stuff. But sometimes I just kind of go silent, and especially because I like to draw with music. I can't really, I can draw without music. Obviously, you can focus better, but for me, I like drawing with music because for me, that's when I get in my creative flow state. When I get like how do I say? When I feel like the most creative, so I'm listening to music. I'm sure everybody does, but I don't know how people can do these type of videos and then like have no music and like post so much. I can't do that. Like I gotta have like music on. So I think part of the reason why I made this like a voiceover is because some of these clips I had like music and you could probably hear it in the background, and it would be like wouldn't make no point. Plus, not to mention my AC always blasting like at freaking full volume. But yeah, I might have to yap for like 22 minutes. I just realized this video is like 22 minutes or something like that, unless I cut it down. But yeah, drawing with the pen I draw right now, it's actually, I like it a lot because I'm a pretty impatient person. I think that shows in my drawings and stuff, because I don't really, my drawings are, a lot of them are rough, and I'm like, the places where I post my drawings and stuff, like different accounts, the people who said they like my art style, they kind of mentioned is the same thing I'm getting is, oh, you know, your style is, it's rough, it's good, but it's like rough, and that's like the kind of aesthetic that I kind of just like, that's just my art style. Like I feel like a lot of people have their art style by accident, or just what they're just used to drawing, or how they're used to drawing. For me, I'm a pretty impatient person, like I said, so a lot of my drawings come out pretty faster than I want it to be, or like, yeah, I guess I could say that, but they kind of come out a little rough, which is not bad, but that's just how I draw things. Kind of, I try to do things kind of quicker. But yeah, I think it's like a couple more seconds on this clip, but yeah, that's what I drew for that page, just like kind of a warm-up. But yeah, I think, yeah, going back to that, I think my art style is just basically, I would say, just rough, and like, which is cool. It's not really what I intended it to be, but it is pretty cool. I know for, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, I moved the camera, never mind. But I know for when I draw a pencil and stuff like that, any utensil where I can like kind of sketch more, it's kind of it comes out rough. But if I'm drawing with like a pen like this, which I like a lot, because since I am a pretty impatient person, I like to get past the sketching stage. So I can just, with this kind of pen, you kind of just go one time and then you're done. So I like doing that, but at the same time, I gotta get used to, since I can't sketch or make like the opacity is the same, I gotta like be careful and get better at like proportions and stuff like that. So I probably need like more proportion practice. But yeah, and then for this one, I think I'm drawing I don't know, I think it was like a warm-up sketch. It wasn't really like a real drawing. But yeah. What do I say? Why do I say drawing like that? Drawing. Oh, fuck. Anyways. Yeah. But yeah. I feel like I've always thought like you needed to have to be like in an art class or art school to learn how to draw. Obviously that's not the case, as a lot of people are self-taught and they have like big followings, or that, you know, they have they make money off their drawings and stuff like that. But I feel like if I had like a teacher, it would really help me on certain things, be more disciplined, and certain things I need to work on where I wouldn't really pay too much attention towards. Excuse me. But yeah, I feel like if I had like someone, you know, checking my drawings and stuff like that, which I don't really, with the amount of resources you have online, it's like almost at a perspective where it's like, why would you pay money, you know, for people that like judge your drawings and stuff like that, or learn how to draw, where you can just learn online. or like learn, from somewhere where you know all the you have all the resources to like learn. Which I first personally me, I would never pay for like dogs. I would pay for people, or like no matter how much I admire their work, their artwork and stuff like that, I would never pay for their courses or stuff like that. Because with so many resources, I could just why not just try and get better that way. Which if I ever were to have like a big following where I can have courses that people pay for them, or just have like stuff where practice sheets, or like I go over their drawings, give tips and help. I don't think I would. I don't know if I would make that a thing for myself. I would probably do it because, and it would be inevitable for me to do it because I would want to help others. And sometimes when you have a certain artist that you kind of admire their drawings, or you like how they draw stuff, or you like their art style, or you like them as a person, or you just really connect with them, whether it be through the artwork, or their with their character. It's kind of like sometimes some people want that from a specific person, so I feel like I would make that a thing, but really wouldn't really make it like some other artists that kind of make like whole courses out of it, which is nothing wrong with that. That's what you want to do. But for me, I wouldn't want to do that, because if I were to do that, it would be for like a really cheap cost or price, and I would make some things like free here and there, which time is money, which you can't really blame people for like, oh, pay this amount of money to have like a one-on-one with me, or blah 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 blah, because at the end of the day, you can't give everyone your time for free. But yeah, I wouldn't really. That's what I was saying. Like I would never pay for courses. It's kind of like personal training, like if you think you know what you're doing at the gym, or you have like so many resources where it's just like, why do I need a trainer? I can just have all this stuff online and stuff like that. It's kind of like the same thing with me. I feel like people who want to pay for courses or pay for anything, where it's like, why would you need to pay for that? We have all the information online. Some people really want that connection, or really want the product from that certain person, or the provider, or the company, etc. So yeah, how I would I already made my point. I'm kind of just like rambling now, but I kind of would like just gonna make my point of like, I would love to have like someone who could like look over my work and stuff, but I would never pay money for it, because it's like I improved on my artwork by myself, and if others can do it, why can't I? So it's more like I wouldn't spend money to have that, but it'll be cool. But yeah, and then back to this thing I'm drawing. Just some crash out kid. I think I was using Riley from the Boondocks as like a reference. But yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, when it comes to like one thing I need to work on as well, I've mentioned this, but like I need to work on drawing hair better. That's the one thing where I'm like, I can never be that good at, because I don't know, but just something that I'm just not good at. It's so weird, because I think I'm pretty decent at drawing hands, because when I draw hands, they come out pretty decently, and I rarely ever practice hands. I just have a knack for like drawing hands. But for like hair, it's just something that I just cannot comprehend. But yeah. Also, I gotta work on facial expressions. My facial expressions, they always have that like I think there's a thing in art in the art world where it's like the model look, or like when it comes to like drawing manga or something like that, having the same face syndrome when it comes to art. It's kind of like the same like monotone looking face, or like, no emotion. Like they just have like the model face. But some, I think, what's that art style? Jelly art style, which a lot of that, those art styles, a lot of people who make those art styles, they have that, which is like aesthetically pleasing. But you can't make every single character look like that. You gotta have characters that have some type of emotion. But yeah, I think I'm drawing like another one just to do with the afro. But yeah, I need to get better emotion with the drawing emotions and stuff like that. A lot of my characters just sit there and just look like they're, I don't know how to describe it. But yeah. Also, I prefer I like drawing with smaller sketchbooks now. Bigger sketchbooks, I feel like I don't know. I like drawing with a smaller sketchbook because there's less space to fill up on the page, whereas opposed to a regular sketchbook, I feel like you gotta draw bigger. You kind of gotta fill up the page more with stuff, which for me, I'm not the biggest fan of. Not too fond of that. But yeah. Yeah. And then when it comes to my art style, I like to. Everybody's different, but I like to go for a semi-realistic look. The problem with me is I like a lot of art styles. There's a lot of people's work where I look at it and I'm like, wow, it's really cool, and I'm like, I kind of try to emulate that, either consciously or subconsciously, which leads to like sometimes my art looks completely different. Like if I were to draw like a, a face, or like, let's say like I would draw like a girl, and I use something as a reference, where I use artist like artwork as a reference because I really like their art, I would draw kind of similar to that. And then if I maybe draw like something where I have a realistic reference, the art style will look completely like two different things. I feel like yeah, there's a lot of thing about art is like you gotta have like you're gonna have, and it's inevitable to just have a certain art style. But like a lot of people's artwork I really like a lot, so for me, I go like for semi-realistic type of thing. And then usually I what I'm doing is this. I draw like the lips and like nose. Well, I kind of draw out the nose. I don't make it too like little specks for the nostrils and then shade. I kind of try to draw out the nose. I think I've kind of evolved on top of that when it comes to that. I feel like a couple years ago I just drew like the nose as like little semicolons and then just shading. That's for the nose, which is fine. That's art style. But for me, I like to draw out the nose and flesh out the nose more. It's not really that fleshed out, but it's just like at least you can see some type of structure in it. And the lips, I kind of like to draw more like bigger lips a little bit. And then for eyebrows, I realized that like I like to go heavier on the eyebrows, like make really thicker eyebrows. That's just my personal preference in art style. But I kind of realized that well, I mean I could be wrong, but sometimes people draw the stuff they want to draw based on like how they kind of like are I don't know how to describe it. I think the obvious answer is the way people's art style or how they draw certain things, like primarily for people, is based on like what they view as more attractive or beautiful or handsome, or just overall more attractive. Like for me, I personally find like bigger lips, or like more like, I hate using the word, but like just I'm just saying like bigger lips, but like I find that more appealing to me, like in general. And then when it comes to like eyebrows, I think thicker eyebrows are pretty appealing as well. And then I usually like to draw my eyes like really small and like kind of like Ichigo from Bleach, like how his eyes like those anime characters that kind of like have those like fierce eyes, like stuff like that, like Levi or Ichigo. I like to draw characters with their eyes are kind of like that too, because I find that like that for me subconsciously that's probably like most attractive type of eyes. So I kind of draw based on what I find like what I've deemed to find like attractive or like appealing as far as like facial features. It's kind of corny to talk about, but I think it's with like a lot of people. Um, like for example, people who draw the side profile. There was this whole controversy about like, oh, you draw like characters like for example if they're white or Asian, you draw the characters where their nose is like the most protruding thing, part of their face on the side profile. But then obviously for like the average black person, their mouth is usually the most protruding thing for a side profile. But people really don't draw it like that. They kind of just draw with their pointy nose and then like smaller lips and mouth, which realistically, like majority of black people don't like their facial structure is just not structured like that. It's different from like someone who's white or like Asian or like someone who's like maybe fairer skin or has like who is known for having like smaller lips on average or like a bigger nose, etc., etc. So like people who draw like stuff like that, they probably might seem like subconsciously they might think like I think everybody can agree attractive is attractive. It doesn't really matter if you fit a certain type of archetype, but the people who kind of draw certain things a certain way, they might even not realize it, but they find those things like more attractive, you know. But yeah, the whole point is just basically saying like a lot people who develop a art style and things like that when it comes to facial features, they usually 9 times out of 10 are gonna find those things attractive, which it's like when I think about it, it's a no-brainer obviously because you're the one drawing it, so you're gonna make it how you want. But I kind of realized that it's kind of like that. So when it comes to like my facial features that I like draw on characters, those are the things that I kind of deem attractive, whether it be like consciously or subconsciously. And also like just because a certain thing for me personally, if it doesn't like someone doesn't have that, how do I say, like doesn't have those features or like doesn't fit that criteria or like kind of archetype, doesn't mean they're not attractive and stuff. It's just how I draw things and how I view stuff. I don't know, I'm over elaborating to get the point. But yeah, and then this is like the last maybe like minute or two or something. This is like the part where my phone died, like cut off like halfway through this drawing, so I might keep this in or like cut it out. But yeah, pretty much almost done. For some reason I like how drawing with this pen gives me kind of stressful, because if you draw something a line, excuse me, if you draw like a line like the wrong way or something, you're kind of cooked, because for this type of pen you can't really go over it as you would with like a average pen. But it does to me come out better because it's just kind of like ink, you're just drawing stuff right away. But yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. I've been rambling for like 20 something minutes. I may or may not cut this video down short, but we'll see. But also drawing on a desk, well, that's just a no-brainer. But sometimes I draw on my bed. Like I'll draw like on my bed, obviously on like a sketchbook, but I'm kind of like gotten used to that because I don't have like a desk in my room. I kind of just have it in like other places in my house, but I need to invest in a desk in my room. Drawing on a desk is like the most like peaceful place you could ever draw. But yeah, and then going back to the art style thing, I think my art style, well, everybody's art style is constantly evolving. So if you don't like your art style now, it probably will change after time. But as far as my art style, I kind of like it. Because before I would just draw things, and that was just how I used to. That was what I would be used to drawing, and I would be used to drawing it, and I wouldn't necessarily like the art style. But now I kind of like really like my art style. Um, Art styles and like art is just subjective in general, so not everybody's gonna like it. But that's just what I've grown accustomed to, and I really like my art style. So over time, I'll probably get better, or I'll try to at least make it better. But yeah. Yeah, this video is gonna like shut off pretty soon. But yeah, that's pretty much like all I have to say. But yeah.